I don't have my speech memorized or anything, but I have finished and written it out. So for my video, I'm just going to say my speech. I'm just going to read it off my computer. It is an honor to be able to play a sport in college. All the hard work that you devote and put into a sport you love pays itself off by being able to play at the top. Most athletes play their sport because they love the game. Most athletes choose their college choice to make their family and friends proud and because the school is a place they are actually interested in going to. But in an episode of The First Take, Tim Tebow, who was being interviewed, said if college athletes were paid to play their collegiate sport, it would ruin the whole point of college sports. Athletes deciding on a college would only then decide to go to a college where they would be paid the most, instead of determining their choice on academics, the likes of campus, and family and friends. The topic of whether college athletes should get paid or not has been debated on for a long time. And today I'm going to tell you why college athletes shouldn't be paid and the reasonings behind the statement being made. But first, let's talk about what goes on into being a college athlete and the treatment college athletes get. There is a lot of work that is put into being a college athlete. According to the Maryville University, college athletes spend almost half of their time in practices, conditioning, and participating in their sport. College athletes spend most of their free time surrounding academics and conditioning more for their sport. But then sports have been proven to help with focus, building motivation, and finding patience. With that, college athletes either get full or partial scholarships to their school, leading them either to not have to pay for their education or only having to pay a small portion. And according to the information given by the Baylor Lariat, colleges tend to give their college athletes stipends of money, whether it being a few hundred up to thousands, in order to cover living expenses such as food, clothes, and extra cash to have around. Since athletes get these stipends throughout the school year, they do not need to get a job or a paid internship or get anything paid in general for academic purposes. The students also receive school help ranging from private tutors, extra study hall time, and free textbooks. And to make sure of all this, athletes are successful after a long college life. Some are given special advisors to help with job searches and advocates for them to get into starting their new careers. So now that I've told you and you have learned about the work that is put into being a college athlete and some of the treatment that they receive, I'm now going to talk about the reasons why college athletes should not be paid. College athletes should start to decide on what college to play for depending on how much they will get paid. Because Division I schools are most likely to pay athletes more for their name and upcoming fame more than the smaller schools would be able to. And this would show that athletes are making their decisions on where to play purely on how much they would make instead of academic side and whether they would actually like to go to that school or not. So that means the Division I schools and bigger schools would just get bigger and the smaller schools would end up getting smaller because they can't afford to pay them. The New Yorker, which is website article, states that paying college athletes would end up ruining the true reason why athletes play their sport. Instead of having passion, excellence, and love for a sport, it would just turn into a pure money thinking. College athletes would also lose the academic purpose to college since all the focus would be on sports and just to make money. And the Journal for Study of Sports and Athletes in Education suggests that some colleges put sports above the educational part of college athletes' experiences. A report from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill found that coaches were putting athletes in so-called empty classes and smaller group classes in order to be able to get less of a workload and also to be able to help them cheat. And by cheating their way through classes, this totally defeats the purpose of going to college in the first place. And then this can also show that an athlete can go to a college all paid for, get stipends of money throughout the academic school year and other money sources to go there, and also cheat and not learn anything through their college experience. And then this also just kind of sucks for the people that actually go there for academic purposes and actually want to learn, and college athletes just taking a position where a regular student could get that position that actually wants to take their academics seriously. But to recap on what we just talked about, even though it is a privilege to be able to play a sport in college, All the collegiate athletes should not be paid for many reasons. These athletes receive these stipends from ranging in hundreds to thousands of dollars a year by their colleges in order to live generously throughout the academic year, including getting stuff for their housing, food, clothing, and many more. And they also receive many resources like free textbooks and one-on-one tutoring. And this is which average college students usually have to pay for and cannot even afford to do. We start to play and love a sport because we believe it is fun and it is an outlet for us to excel in. That's why we start when we are young. But being offered money would turn the sport that we used to love so much into a sport where we would go purely for the income and the legacy that would be made. This doesn't apply to all the colleges that I'm talking about, but some schools even help their athletes cheat through school in order to be able to play and focus more on their sport, because to those colleges, sports means everything and academics come very bottom of the totem pole. This does not give an athlete any academic advantage, and also this can take away a regular student's spot in their dream college that can actually be interested in learning. Hopefully, with all this information and gaining insight, you will be able to agree or see the reason why college athletes should not be paid. And that is all. Thank you.